Welcome, everyone. This is episode 15 from Views of the Stand. This is your host, Gunner, aka G-Man G Blazing, if you're following on the socials. And we are now on video as well as audio now. So we're going to be posting videos on YouTube pretty much at least once a week, depending on that week. Could be more. Like this week, going to probably do another one tomorrow, Friday, or over the weekend, depending when I can do it. But yeah, I'm just excited to continue to grow and see where this goes. Right. Um, it's just great to talk about sports and have a platform to talk about it. And so I hope everyone enjoys what I have been doing and enjoys what we're going to be doing in the future. Uh, Quick shout out to a good buddy of mine and his buddies. They just started a podcast. It's called Cheesehead Chatter. So go shout them out. Go check them out. They are on YouTube and Spotify as well. They talk all about all Wisconsin, basically all Wisconsin sports. So I mean, they delve into obviously sports in general, right, and then talking about the other areas and whatnot. But I mean, their main focus is the Wisconsin sport. So you got your Wisconsin Badgers, your Green Bay Packers, your Milwaukee Brewers, all Milwaukee Bucks, all that fun, crazy stuff. So go check them out. They had a great first episode this morning, I believe that came out, and so I think maybe yesterday. But I mean, I enjoyed it, and the boys, the group that they have, I think it's going to go well. So looking forward to that. And with that, guys, we are going to share the screen. Right. One of the great things about this is doing it on the screen. So as always, we're going to start it off with our fantasy update. So in Yahoo, as always, we're 8-5. We're in third place. We're going to face the 9-4 team that are in second place. Good buddy of mine, his kid, that's who we're facing, run CMC. I believe we got a week or two until playoffs. 4 teams make it in this league, and we're pretty much right at the compass, right? So just a quick, seeing if you want to see my team. And I mean, we got Mahomes, he landed. I mean, we got some dogs, right? And so we just got to continue riding this wave and winning ball games. Going into the two sleeper leagues, one is the Dynasty League, right? As you've heard, if not, we're doing the Dynasty League. We're 4-9. We are trash, but we are just making sure that we're not in last place. So shout out to AJ for taking that schneid for us all. And then lastly is the main league, the Elite Mother Tuckers. We are 8-5. We are in third place. We lead the league in points forward, so that's definitely going to help us in tiebreakers and stuff, right, and whatnot, right? That's interesting. I just noticed that little laughing emoji. Anyway, we're in third place. Buddy AJ is in second place. If he can lose this week and I win this week, I will get the tiebreaker because of that points. We'll be both 9-5, and I will be able to be in a bye week. Won last year, so I'm looking forward back to back in this league that you're looking at right now, or what I'm talking about right now. You're not seeing the video. So I know it's late towards the season, but if you have any recommendations, thoughts, questions, anything, shoot them over in the comments or on the socials, and give me your thoughts and recommendations on what I should be doing that I'm not doing currently. All right, so let's talk about the NBA in-season tournament, guys, and what's going on there. So this tipped off on November 3rd, Friday. It was a Friday, and it will accumulate all the way until this weekend, December 9th. The quarterfinals started Monday and Tuesday, which we'll go over more in depth. Semifinals are this Thursday, if you're watching on the video, as you can see probably. And basically, there's 2 stages: a group play and a knockout round, right? And so the group play is all 30 teams go in based on their win-loss records of last year. They play 4 games, 2 on the road, 2 at home, and then 8 teams will advance. So the team, right, six teams that have the best heading in each of the group plays make it, and then 2 wild cards. basically it's a team from each conference with the best record in the group play games that finish second in the group, basically, right? So it's the second team essentially. And then right, the quarterfinals, right, again, like I mentioned, Monday and Tuesday, semifinals, and then championship. So the final money. That's kind of what I'm looking to find real quick as I'm looking on this quick little website. So I know the finals, the winners win 500,000, but like the quarterfinals, I believe in the semifinals, they get like 250, I want to say, or maybe less, but they definitely get some winnings, and that's kind of the main incentive on the player side is the money. From the league standpoint, it is viewership. It is people noticing the NBA earlier than normal, right? Normally, we look at NBA and don't start watching, at least me personally, until after December most of the time, right? Or Christmas is when you really start, right? And then from then on. So I've enjoyed it, following along on the internet and seeing what's going on and who's winning and whatnot and talking about it here. And so I think it's a win-win for both sides, players and the league. So, and then quickly on the quarterfinals, right? So on the west side, we had Lakers Suns 106-103. Lakers beat the Suns, and then the Pelicans 127-17. That's going to be a great matchup in the finals. Pelicans are a deep team. Lakers, have two of the top 5, top 10 players on their team, right? So I have Lakers advancing to make it to the championship here over the Pelicans. And then the East Conference, we had Bucks over the next 146-122, and then the Pacers 122-112 over the Celtics. I have the Bucks beating the Pacers. They have Dame Time and Giannis and Chris Middleton. The championship, which is on Saturday, Lakers versus Bucks. I have the Bucks. Got to support the East Coast team, in my opinion. And we will, Dame Time, Giannis will get it done over the Lakers and LeBron and Anthony Davis. So I'll be looking forward to that. They start tomorrow, so I'll definitely check it out. And then Saturday as well, because it's Saturday and there's nothing else to probably watch during that day since college football is pretty much closed now. So, and we'll talk about that probably more on the next pod as well. Maybe a future pod where we kind of dive into the bowl games and stuff. So, or future episode, I should say. All right. So one of the main things I wanted to talk about is the new hire for USC defensive coordinator D'Anton Lynn. His biological or legit name is Anthony Ray Lynn II. So he is 34 years old. He's the son of NFL coach Anthony Lynn. If you heard of that name, he was the Chargers head coach. Now he is I believe the running backs coach for San Francisco. He really didn't kind of follow under his dad's footsteps and whatnot. After reading about it, he kind of did his own thing, went out and worked for other coaches and stuff. So he was part of the Ravens coaching staff before going over to UCLA and before coming over to USC when we hired him. He's part of the Rex Ryan tree, I would say. He's Rex Ryan's a mentor of his, one of many. So. Coming from the Ravens coaching staff and the Rex Ryan tree mentor, this guy is very knowledgeable on that side of the field, and I'm looking forward to it. Scheme is flexible, and it's all about the players, something that he preaches and says a lot. I love to hear that. I'm not a big person. He mentioned a lot about versatility, right? And I think that kind of fits to what he's trying to say there, right? He's trying to be versatile. He's trying to make sure that his players can do multiple things, not just one thing. And that's what we want, I think, in all aspects. So I'm excited. I know previously we had a D coordinator that was pretty much all about his scheme and doing the scheme and whatnot. So I think this is a good, good fresh air, breath of air, or whatever you want to call it, for the players at USC. But at the end of the day, we need to get bigger on the front. We got to change how we prepare and practice, which we are hearing some good things about that. And then he's really just keen on doing the fundamentals, especially tackling, where we just need to put an emphasis on it every day, every week, throughout practice, throughout camps and whatnot, and ensure that we are doing the right things. But at the end of the day, in terms of just tackling, I mean, you need to have players that want to tackle, right? I mean, there's players out there that don't want to tackle at the end of the day. So I'm excited. There's pros and cons, right? I think pros is coming from where he came from in terms of defensive mindset. Rex Ryan, Ravens coaching staff, John Harbaugh. Uh, the con is, he very experienced as a D coordinator overall, 1 year total. He was at UCLA, obviously, right? He could jump ship to the NFL. He could be just a person that just jumps ships everywhere. That could be a con, right? And I think at the end of the day, with that, all the targets that we were talking about and thinking about, they were all going to probably move, right? I mean, most of them were looking at head coaching jobs, looking at NFL jobs for D coordinators and stuff like that. So, I mean, when it comes to USC, I mean, when you win, good things are going to happen, and people are going to, get better opportunities. Quick highlight on D'Anton Lynn is he made a defense from UCLA go from 87 to 11. Top 15 defense in the country. That is great to see, and seeing the growth and the quick turnaround, right? He led the league in rushing yards allowed, number one, like 69, 70 yards. Also yards per rush allowed, like 2 to 3 yards per rush. So I mean, he was stout in the run game. Obviously, the players that he had probably are better fit than what we have, and that goes back to, right, we have to improve the front seven, have to improve those defensive linemen. So things are in place, things are in order in terms of that happening. It'll take time, which I anticipate those things to happen, and will happen. And I'm looking forward to the outcome of what that will look like. But I think something that I don't think has been talked about a lot is he kind of like reminds me in the sense of like, and it's hard to compare the two, but when Lincoln became a head coach, he kind of came out of nowhere, right? And everyone's all about him. And so he's a young, right? They're both young. Lincoln's a little bit older than D'Anton Lynn, but I mean, he's 34 years old, like I said, and I think he has a lot more to grow, which he knows. But he learned a lot as his first year at the D coordinator. So I mean, that's a huge plus, and I'm excited about that, and what he can do for our program. Because at the end of the day, we need to have a better defense, especially with how Lincoln can run offenses. I mean, I'm not expecting to be 11th ranked every year, right? I want to be at least top 50. I feel like I haven't seen a top 50 defense from USC in a long, long time. So we will see what happens with that. But I'm definitely excited for that. The transfer portal. So we're going to dive into the transfer portal. We're going to go over the latest, see who is who just has entrance, see if anyone pops up that we're aware of, and maybe give some insight. We'll go over the top kind of 50-ish players. And then we'll go over some of the USC transfers that are leaving, and we also got a transfer today, so we'll go over that as well on that segment. So the latest, DeMonte Trianum, running back from Ohio State, 4-star from high school. He is no longer going to be at Ohio State, so solid kid. We'll see where he ends up. I haven't heard anything much yet. Mikey Matthews from Utah, I believe he was a freshman. He's leaving Utah, so that was kind of a surprise. Wide receiver. Some other ones that recently, I mean, there's really, in terms of the recent, a lot of 3-stars, and no disrespect, but just don't, not aware of much. Xavier Thomas would be a good one from obviously from Mississippi State. That's kind of surprising, especially with Jeff Levy's offense. He's all about throwing the ball and stuff like that. So that was kind of a shock. But we're going to go into the top players according to 247. So the top one is Walter Nolan, D lineman, D tackle from Texas A&M, 5-star transfer. top guy, basically. And I mean, this is on my USC wish list. I haven't heard any smoke yet with USC in terms of if we're interested and if he's interested. Would love to have him. Some people around the program are familiar with him and maybe are trying to do their thing and try to get USC actually involved with them. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, I've seen all of the teams: Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, Michigan. I mean, teams like that are just. I mean, obviously, right? You gotta pay a big price tag for this one. So we will see on that. Aiden Childs, quarterback. He just entered from Oregon State. He's going to be following his head coach John Smith to Michigan State. So really not a shocker there. Dante Moore, quarterback, UCLA. He's probably going to maybe go closer to home to Michigan. Oregon's still in play. The only thing with the Michigan and him, if he does go there, is I would assume he's got assurance that Moore is going to stay, Shador Moore. I believe that's how you say his first name. The OC basically that had to coach 3 games when Harbaugh was suspended. I mean, I just think he's leaving Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is going to the NFL. He's going to a team where he wants to go and coach. So I would anticipate Moore filling in for the head coaching position for Michigan and see how he does, right? And so maybe that's kind of, Dante's assurance on going there. Cameron Ward, quarterback from Washington State. So right now I'm hearing Ohio State smoke with him. A little bit Oregon at the beginning, but lately it's been Ohio State, and I anticipate Ohio State getting them. London Humphreys, he's going to be going to Georgia from Vanderbilt. I believe he's, brothers with another Humphreys from Georgia. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Antoine Wells, wide receiver from South Carolina. So this is a big name. I'm hearing Tennessee, Texas so far, the 2 teams to watch out for him. But big time wide receiver. Andrew Makuba, safety from Clemson. So right now he is Oregon smoke. He is on my USC wish list. I mean, pretty much most of these defensive guys are going to be on my wish list. We need to improve that side of the ball ASAP. So got to get her done, right? Got to get her done. Next one, LT Overton, D lineman, Texas A&M. Haven't heard USC smoke. I believe we're interested. We'll see. There's somebody that is on my wish list. Will Howard. He is. I guess you say my wish list, but I predict that he's going to be a USC Trojan. Lincoln went out to Manhattan, Kansas, visited him over the weekend, and so I anticipate him coming over here. I think at the end of the day, NIL is just not a big thing for him, so the price tag might not be crazy, right? And I think when we talk about Cameron Ward and we talk about Dylan Gabriel here later on, most of these guys are coming in for the money before they bounce. RJ Open from Edge from Duke. Would love him on, at USC. We'll see. I haven't heard much yet. But, 4-star recruit in the transfer portal, I'll take. Riley Leonard, he left Duke after his head coach went to Texas A&M. Everyone assumed right away that he would go and follow his coach. That's not the case. He actually got a no tag, so it sounds like everybody knew where he wanted to go, and it sounds like Notre Dame. We'll see. It sounds like Auburn's still in the kind of the play, and I think someone else, but Notre Dame's probably the team to beat, obviously. Torano Pride, DB from Clemson. We'll see what happens with him. He's on my wish list. Deion Burks, USC offered him from Purdue, but everyone's pretty much offered this kid, and he's going to take his time, obviously. Julian Fleming, former, I believe, number 1 overall prospect and whatnot from Ohio State. He's in the portal. We'll see where he lands up. I think he just needs to go somewhere where he's going to be able to play and I think get confidence. I think that was an issue. I think he got injured here and there as well, so he couldn't get on the field. But I think confidence is a big thing for a lot of these kids, right? So Tobias Merriweather, he's looking like he's going to be going to Washington from Notre Dame. It kind of surprised me just given that Notre Dame, they're looking to get wide receivers, right? They didn't have great wide receivers last year. So from Washington's perspective, that's kind of interesting to see. Joey Slackman, D lineman from Penn, we have offered him. We'll see if there's a visit. I think the holdup on that. I mean, it could be, we don't know. It's just we don't know who the D-line coach is. I don't think Sean Newell really has got the go ahead to do things for us right now. So we will keep an eye on this, but this is something we definitely need just from a size standpoint. Malik Brown, he's leaving SC, as you can see. So far, I've heard some Oregon, Utah, and Texas A&M are kind of his top three, I would say. Sucks to see him leave. It is what it is. I'm not part of that staff and part of the program where, I know the reasons. I just know when you play freshman year and then you come into the next year, you get told, hey, we're going to move you to wide receiver. And then, hey, we're going to move you to the scout team, basically meaning you're not going to play for us. I could see why, him and his family wanted to leave. So he will be a running back in his next team. Brock Vandegrift, QB from Georgia, is going to go to Kentucky. It's already been committed. Final. Jake Johnson is leaving Texas A&M tight end. He's basically going to be following his brother Max Johnson to North Carolina. Daquan Finn, quarterback from Toledo. Right now I'm here in Wisconsin as the front runner. He's going to be taking a visit this weekend, and I anticipate they close the deal during that weekend. Dylan Gabriel, so we kind of mentioned him. I'm hearing Oregon smoke, so I anticipate him being an Oregon Duck. USC is kind of involved from the reports, but like I mentioned earlier, I think we're all in on Will Howard, especially if the price tag's less. Kyle McCord, QB, Ohio State starter this past year. His dad basically couldn't get assurance from Ryan Day that he was going to be the starter next year, so he bounces. And from my understanding, Kyle McCord, and I'm sure his dad, met with the Nebraska OC yesterday, and just today, Jeff Sims, the quarterback that started this year on and off, is going to be entering the portal. So anticipate Kyle McCord to be a Nebraska Cornhusker here. Upton Stout, DB from Western Kentucky. USC has offered. We'll see if we can get a visit. Chris Paul Jr. is going to be going to Ole Miss from Arkansas. Raymond Cottrell is going to go to Kentucky from Texas A&M, just based on the predictions. And then Will Rogers, quarterback from Mississippi State, is going to go to Washington, it sounds like. I like the fit, honestly, because Washington will need a new quarterback. Penix will be leaving, so we'll see what happens there. Tyler Van Dyke, leaving Miami. I just hope he finds a place where he can play and go have fun. I just don't see him having a career past college level. No disrespect. Grayson McCall, he's leaving Coastal Carolina. Hopefully he's got his grades in order and he's able to move to a different college. We'll see what happens there. Josh Kelly, wide receiver. Pretty much this is Cameron's word best. His top wide receiver. We'll see what happens with that. I haven't heard much with him, but he's an exciting prospect. DJU, quarterback from Oregon State. He's able to transfer again because his coach left, so he's got that waiver. Originally I was hearing Louisville and Florida State smoke, but Louisville just got a commitment from Tyler Shogue. You say it from Texas Tech quarterback. So I would anticipate based on that he's going to go to Florida State. Will Lee III, DB from Kansas State. He has an offer from USC. We'll see if we can get a visit there. No word right now on that. Nate Johnson, Utah, he's leaving. Can't blame him given that Cam Rising's going to be leaving. Or Cam Rising's staying, excuse me. And that kind of covers the top 50. And then we're going to go into the school real quick. All right, so we have Michael Jackson III, wide receiver. He's going to be leaving USC. This one, sucks. This was a fan favorite of many. I mean, every time he played, I think he was productive, in my opinion. He always caught the ball and did what he was supposed to do. It was a crowded wide receiver room. The system is also where we rotate more than maybe a normal team, right? So I can't blame him for trying to find a new place to actually have more consistent play. Dijon Benton, D lineman, he's leaving USC. He's been in and out of the portal for the last year and a half. Played more than I thought this year than going into it, which I enjoyed. I mean, he's a 270, 280 body, which with that scheme that we had I think, was needed because at the end of the day, you need big bodies. So there was games where he balled out and some games where, you didn't see him or hear him from a lot. It is what it is on that standpoint, but sucks to see him go, and hopefully he can go ball out. We talked about him a little bit. Riddick Brown, right? He's leaving. He's going to be a running back. Looking forward to where he goes. Obviously, I hope it's not Oregon, even though we're hearing that smoke right now. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be rooting for him and pretty much all of these Trojans, right? Chris Thompson Jr., linebacker, senior grand transfer. He's going to be leaving. Former Auburn. He went to Auburn before coming to SC, so he's going to find somewhere he can go and just play for you, right? Jude Wolf, this was really expected. Given that we have up to 3 tight ends coming in next year, so it's going to be a young group. But I mean, with how at the end of the day, that coach, the tight end coach, right? Jude's not really his guy, right? I mean, he might like him and whatnot, but he's going to look at these other guys and see their higher potential and ceiling. So, and at the end of the day, Jude got hurt. He didn't get hurt this year, but that's what's hurt him. So, as Marion Gordon, safety, leaving SC. Good friend of mine is his cousin. So shout out to him and his family, Marion Gordon. I hope he goes and balls out wherever he balls out. I'm going to be a fan of that. Darwin Barlow, running back, fan favorite here. Every time he came on the field, he balled out. Matthew Colombo, running back. Maybe he's a walk-on. He's going to be trying to go find the spot, maybe for a scholarship. And Jamar Sakona, the lineman. He didn't play this year. I believe he pretty much was off the team at the beginning of the year. And then when he could transfer, he transferred. And then, lastly, we got a transfer commitment today. Long snapper from Michigan State, Hank Pepper. Man, what a name for a long snapper. I'm excited for that. But he's got 2 years of eligibility. He was able to preserve this year. He only played 4 games, so he preserved a red shirt. So that's where we're at in the transfer portal. Especially on the USC side of things. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode today where we went over fantasy, NBA and season tournament, and we dove into the new hire for USC, D'Anton Lynn. So as always, please go subscribe and like the podcast on YouTube, and Spotify. Hope you guys enjoy the new format of the episode where we're doing a video version. We're gonna improve things, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, for me, it's just trying to get the content out there, and then we improve as we go on. So, everyone have a great week. Also, shout out to Like the Torch podcast. I forgot to mention this in the USC dive-in with the DC. Go check them out. I'm a part of that podcast for USC. We like to put out content out there, and we're doing live episodes. So you can go and come and chat with us if you would like, and talk again all about USC. So you're gonna hear from here on this and more on that as well if you follow both. But enjoy your guys' Wednesday. Enjoy your week, and peace.